Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to another episode of Life Unscripted with Mrs. 𝗟𝗲𝗦𝗀𝗃𝗃. In this series, I share with you how you can become a student for life over academic sessions in order to achieve optimum success. All right. And so, if it is your first time on my channel, hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to get a notification when the next content drops. And if you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and click on that follow button because that is one of the best decisions you're going to make in your life this year and beyond. And I'm going to share with you why. Now, the topic of today is going to be addressing some key important things, why some things are lacking, the lapses that you see in school that get you confused at a point in your life. And so we want to actually address that so that when you find that vacuum, you can be able to help fill it or bridge the gap so that we'll be able to live a wealthy life. So I want to share with you briefly how why wealth education is not part of the school curriculum, right? Because most of the time our parents think that sending us to school is all that they need to do for us to live, right? Yes, it's part of it, but school can never. It's not a course. It's something that you need to understand. That's your academic session cannot teach you everything. There are some things that life is meant to teach you. But however, the essence of those academic seasons is to equip you and prepare you for life ahead of you, right? But most of the times, there are curriculums that are meant to be adjusted in order to achieve all of those things. And that is why we are bringing this thing to the table here. And why you come into the consciousness of this, you can be able to be part of the change in order to bring the educational system into a point whereby we understand education for what it is, beyond being stereotyped to a religion in education. All right. So basically, going into the business of today, but before I do that, you shouldn't be the only one here, right? Tag that person who think that wealth is money. Tag that person who have a wrong concept of wealth. Tag that person who is saying school is scam. Tag that parents who is tired of their children going to school. Tag your guidance, your even your enemies who are saying, I'm not privileged to go to school and I want to deal with this Miss Lynn that I went to school and she even made a first class. Tag them here. Tag them here because the envy is less when everyone is succeeding. When everyone is happy and they are confident in their own skin, doing what they are called to do, you won't have time for jealousy and envy. You will be jealous about the right things and you will not be envious unnecessarily. So it's time for us to succeed together. And that is what has birthed the Life Unscripted 2025. And so basically, I want to share with you briefly why wealth education is not part of the school curriculum. And like I told you, becoming a student of life over academic session all centers around how you can be able to see the structure beyond the curriculum of that four walls of institution. And so that is why we are sharing part of it today. And so people do not know what wealth is actually. you know Most of the time we need to go back to the foundation of things to be able to understand. That's why history is very powerful. There are a lot of us, including myself, there was a time I ran away from anything history. Sometimes they will be calling 1980, 1950, Washington DC, this one. There is a lot of story, and I just like people to go straight to the point. But at a point in my life, I had to understand that there is a part of history, just like where you are coming from. If you don't know the patterns of where you're coming from, you don't know what you're fighting. All right. So now I know that there are a lot of odds against me. Now I know what I'm fighting. Right. So, and when you don't go back to the beginning or the foundation of things, you cannot defeat a devil you don't know. So basically, if you go into the school system with this mindset, of course, you actually graduate, you will not get a job. Even if you get a job, you won't make a lot of money because you have a wrong concept of wealth. And as a matter of fact, like I told you, a lot of scammers are in school, including the ones you call legit, because you don't know who a scam is. And so we'll be talking more about this particular thing in our subsequent series. So now, actually, I told you that the essence of education is to actually help bring out that which dwells within, because God has given you capacity. Now we are focusing on wealth today, and I will share with you why it's not part of the curriculum. Those people that made those curriculum, right, do not understand what wealth is, so they cannot give you what they don't have, right? They can't give you what they don't have. Have you ever seen a wealth lecturer before? No, you can actually ask yourself, have you seen someone who told you I studied wealth? Have you ever seen that before? but this is a practical study that we need to understand the concepts of things in order to live well. So what is actually wealth? The just the basic understanding of what wealth is not riches. It's just beyond riches. The basic thing you need to know about wealth is well-being, is how to be whole. And remember, it's not just well-being, it's not well-doing, it's well-being. It's not well-doing, because people think that wealth is all about you doing a lot of things, making a lot of money, doing this and doing that, and then they are now no longer there about understanding what this thing is. That is why even that lecturer that taught you business admin does not have any business, and there is a limit to what he can offer, because theoretically he knows the words but he doesn't know the work, right? So you want to be able to pay attention to this particular thing, because that is why your concept is wrong. And when you approach that in the environment after your graduation, you will now begin to see, a lot of people are making money. What is that? Am I missing out in all of this, right? So you need to understand that the essence of being in school is to actually to build up on your whole self, because those persons who are teaching you do not have wealth. It's not a course, it's a fact. I want you to understand, it's not a means to downgrade a lot of things. This is a fact, and we need to wake up to it and face it. A lot of people who taught us, including myself, because I'm a victim here, a lot of people who taught us are not well, right? Not that they are like sick physically and all of that, they are not well. And so we need to understand the essence of being whole, the essence of well-being. When can you say that someone is being well? It's not when they are in the hospital and you can now say, the person is sick. No, you don't need to be in this hospital to be sick. The moment you are complaining about the problem, when you should be creating solutions, you are sick, right? So what the level of mindset you need to attain, even in the school system, to maximize opportunities in life, what are the level of things you need to do to actually be whole? When, see, this wealth, right, is actually an expanded level of course that needs to be paid attention to more, right? Because it's going to affect the way we interpret our learning experiences. It's going to affect the way our learning outcomes, right? So basically, the school system, because this wealth education is not part of the curriculum, they now begin to teach you how to be a slave. That's why you want to japa. That's why you want to leave the country, because you think that those people, you are going to have what you don't have, and so you now need to now reduce yourself to start working for them, because you are wired in the school system, because there is no wealth education, to actually work for people. So you are now enslaved, that whatever that has to constitute wherever you make money is who you are going to work for, and you no longer live for yourself. So how are you being whole? How are you having that well-being? Being, not well-doing, being, when you lack these things, when you are working, when you are just focused on working for people for a particular change, you let people determine how much that comes in and all of that. It's very, very amazing what we do in this space, but we need to wake up to this fact. So that's why we struggle with identity crisis, because we don't know this foundation of things for ourselves. And so we need to actually look back to all of these things. So when you are raised to work for people, that's why the moment you graduate, what you think about is where you're going to submit your certificate to go and get a job that will pay you. And most of the time, your concept of getting a job is not to actually build more capabilities based on experience. You are going to get a job because, I made a first class, they need to pay me millions. you know See, you are not totally wrong, right? But when you come into consciousness of this, you see that is not how life works. That's why you learning and being a student for life helps you to understand things, so that because your definition is going to affect your application. So when you now come out of the school, you said, I made the first class. Now people are going to rush me so that I can be able to work for them, and then they pay me, and you're very comfortable with that. Check out your parents who did all of those things. Most of them, they never built a house, they never accomplished more, right? And every single day they tell you there's no money. Don't you understand the situation of the country every single year? Is that what you want to do for yourself? They were never taught wealth education, so what do you expect? You can't give what you don't have. So it's because the people who taught us are going through identity crisis. Identity crisis is not only uh when you have an ugly experiences. Identity crisis is you not knowing who you are, right? So when you know who you are, your reason for leaving the country will change. When you know who you are and that you are whole, that's why people now, they don't wait to, they actually want to enjoy things of the marriage during relationship. Oh God. That's why your concept of getting into a relationship is wrong. Because you are getting to get complete without knowing that you are made whole, right? And that's what well-being is. So you don't cling onto another person to complete you. You already complete. The essence of relationship is what you can share, bring to the table, because you already complete yourself. You are made in we are all men, but we are created male and female. That's why you will never see women in the Bible. You only see men, brethren, whatever thing. But you will not see female. You won't see women. So what you see is men. So he said, let us make man, right? Let us make man. So in that man he made man, male and female. So we are the same, but of different functions. That's why we are male and female by gender. So the only gender we know is male and female. It's not man or woman. That's why if you go to the hospital, gender is always male or female. Check out all those things. If you don't understand this key, they are very, very important for you to understand. So it's something that affects your relationship. You think that you need some other persons to be complete without knowing that it is your well-being that people are going to support. So what is your concept about life? We need to learn how to be well. We need to learn how to be whole as a human being. And that is the essence, that this particular wealth education should be inculcated in school systems. It should be inculcated in formal education, even from basic schools. These are the major things. All those courses, there are some courses I begin to wonder, why did they bring those things? But I'm going to share that in our subsequent series, right? So these things are meant to come even from the basics. Why are you doing that? The well-being is the communion of your spirit, soul, and body, right? Now, what constitutes your spirit is that which you are made in Christ. So that one is very stable, right? Everybody has that spirit in them because you are made in the image and likeness of God. And the moment you become born again, you activate the life of Christ in yourself. But your soul is not the same with your spirit. Your soul is where the nourishing comes. That is why when people speak to you, they are speaking to your soul. See, why you are double-minded about life is that your soul and your spirit is not in alignment. So yes, you have attained, you are born again today, and you declared those declaration on the altar and whatever thing that you did to ascertain that you are born again, right? But then tomorrow you see yourself doing those things because the soul is not nourished to come into alignment with that life of Christ, which is activated in the spirit. You get that? Now it is in your soul that you have your mind and your emotions. That is where when wealthy education comes, it feeds your mind. It activates a level of feeling and attachment, that thing you call passion, right? In my next series, I'm going to really talk about passion, of what it is, right? So when you activate these things, your soul is nourished with what you feed your mind. And that is where education comes in. Because whatever you see as a manifestation, those money you are waiting to make and everything, that comes in the body, what people can see. But it first of all activates in the mind, resonates with your vibrating force, with your emotions. You begin to carry an energy and a presence in a particular place to command that result to manifest in the physical, which is your body. So it is the communion, that well-being, it is the communion of what? The spirit, soul, and body. That is why if you don't read books that empowers your mind, that activates a level of emotions to keep you working, you have not started. So you need to be able to pay attention into your soul. Your soul is at stake anytime you go through education of whatever level, wherever level you are in life. So that's why wealth education is meant to start from the very beginning, even from homes, because if we know this as parents, we can be able to give them the foundation of wealth, of what it means to actually be wealthy. It's not just to make money, it is actually to be whole as a person, because we are born as creators to create, and He has given us the power to create wealth. When you understand these things, you will not be able to activate it, nourish it with education of what you feed your mind, your emotions, that activates your emotions, and that is going to be a manifestation of what your body is going to incorporate. So when it comes to your body, it becomes health. It becomes those material things you can see. It comes into the physical. It becomes money. It becomes opportunity. It becomes other people. You begin to attract those things to yourself. Why? Because you are whole yourself. Your spirit and your soul is in alignment with what this wealth. You are whole. Oh, come on. I just wish I'm speaking to someone. When you understand the essence of this wealth education, going back to the beginning to understand the basic concept of wealth, you will see wealth from a whole new dimension. So I'm explaining to you the basics. The basic. This is just more like an overview of what it is, right? There is a wealth creation process. You want to follow Dr. 𝗂𝗂𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗑𝗏 on this. He is the only African man I have met that has massacred the concept of wealth. You want to be part of that? Search for him online, anywhere you want to meet him, anyhow you want to meet him, go. And he's an African man, an Igbo man at that. And he brought a new dimension of wealth. You want to learn that, to incorporate. That's why I'm telling you that those 4 walls of the school is not going to give you everything. So when you have these sets of persons that have gone ahead and have learned those things for themselves, you learn from them. That's why your stay in the university is 70% you, and then 30% the school environment, right? When you pay attention to these things, you can now better equip yourself and truly say that you are educated, because your education is is going to be a reflection of your outcomes. And so you need to be able to do that, because learning is said to be taking place when there is an improved outcome. If nothing is improving in your life, then you don't know anything, right? So you need to, the level of knowledge you know cannot be able to activate that particular outcome. So go back to the very beginning and become well again, because those people that taught us do not understand this concept, and that's why we are missing out. That's why we are leaving the country for the wrong reasons. That's why we just want to play it safe. That's why we are looking for comfortable systems that other people had made in stock, whereas we are born to create these things for us. You can also watch a documentary about the men who built America. Who are the men who built America? Their names are still in the wall. Why not make Africa their map to be on the wall of the global space by coming out fully to be able to do that? Wealth education is going to teach you that, but it's not in the school system, because everybody right in the school system teaching you are playing it safe. So they want you to do the same thing and make you a slave to that thing till you die. And so there is no significant change from generation to generation. You are repeating the same thing. I think it's high time for us to pay attention to wealth education. There is a lot to talk about this wealth education. And of course, we are building confident global champions. We want them to be holistic as a person, so that they can deliver value across the world and put our name, Africa, in that global map. All right. I can't wait to be able to see you on the inside. We are actually structuring our program that is going on effective accountability, so that we'll bring a point of responsibility in the minds of them that have lost this track of time due to societal and whatever influences that they may have gone through, in order to attain a holistic life that help them become a confident global champion. You want to be that? Type CGC in the comment section, or you hit the link in the description of my channel right now. If you're watching on Facebook, hit the link on my bio. Let's have the conversation and take this to a whole new level. It is time for you to live the life you are proud of, and not the one people recommend. And I can't wait to be able to build yourself holistically by actually understanding that even wealth education, when it is not part of that your school curriculum, you can put it in your life structure in order to have a holistic view about life and be able to live holistically. I still remain your friend and your go-to-get entrepreneur and networking strategies, Mrs. Chiamaka 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 forget that your name, when you get up to fight for your dreams, your name will make it possible for Africa's map to be on the global space. It is possible. We are getting there. We are just getting started. Join us today, and I can't wait to see you on the other side. Bye for now.